Good morning. Hi, this is John Mangiarotti, the town manager in Acton. We're live from Acton Studios here on Craig Road in Acton. I'm joined today by Sharon Mercurio, our Council on Aging Director. Every month at the Senior Center, we do an event called Java with John, which is an opportunity for me to meet with the seniors that are at the Senior Center, and we talk about various things that are going on in town. Unfortunately, this month, due to the various measures we're taking related to the COVID-19 issue, we are not able to have the Senior Center events, so we decided to hold a virtual event. I'm not sure how many people out there are watching. According to this thing, there are about a handful, but maybe we'll get more joining us soon. And we'll just talk a little bit about what we're doing right now as in response to this public health issue that we're all dealing with, and then if there's questions, we'd be happy to answer them. So just as an overview, a few weeks ago, this started to really ramp up around here in our community. We started taking several steps to make sure that precautions were put in place. On the 13th of March, we started closing all the buildings to keep the public to honor social distancing. Earlier this week, the Board of Selectmen, and then last night, the Board of Health voted to declare a local state of emergency in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. This follows a national state of emergency declared by the President and a statewide state of emergency by Governor Baker. So all of our departments and public safety officials are working very hard to both keep our community safe and also keep ourselves safe while we're still keeping the operations of the government going. So Sharon is here with me. We understand that the Senior Center is a place where it provides a very valuable opportunity for our residents to connect with one another, and having that facility closed for a period of time, which at this point is indefinite. We want to find ways to connect with all of you out there. Sharon's going to be working on some programming virtually. This is something we're going to try to do virtually. We're also going to try to engage our FM radio station, which we're working on to broadcast things that are going on in town, public service announcements, information. So we're going to continue to work on this, and we'll have some announcements hopefully by the end of the week or Monday on different ways we're going to be engaging with all of you while you're at home. It's difficult to be at home, we understand that, but it's very important that we maintain social distancing. This is something that there's lots of ways that people are trying to figure out, but the number one way to keep this from getting worse is to keep people at least 6 feet away from each other. We did our best on the set here to be 6 feet away. We are making sure that we are always 6 feet away otherwise. So before we get started, let me just make sure there aren't any initial questions. One thing that we're doing from town hall staff is a lot of staff are working remotely. Our offices are pretty close together, so people that normally sit close together, we have them working in other places, and we're going to continue to do that as long as necessary. We're really working on improving the content on our website to make it easier to find things, so that if you're not able to come to town hall as you normally would, what you're looking to do you can find on our website. Our phones are being staffed, so if you have questions, call us. It is easier probably to email, just because it's easier to get back to you. One important thing is we postponed our annual town meeting. We had an annual town meeting scheduled for April 6th. It was scheduled to go for 2 nights, and because of the COVID issue, the Board of Selectmen voted earlier this week to postpone our town meeting. The date for which it will be held has not been determined, and we're going to work on that in the coming weeks. The Board of Selectmen will meet again on Monday night to further the conversation. Another item of importance that a lot of residents are asking about is the upcoming town election. On March 31st, we have a town election, and also that same day, we have a special state election to fill the seat that Representative Benson held. And both of those elections, the Board of Selectmen are taking action to postpone those. So there is pending legislature at the state house, at the state level, that may provide relief and allow us to postpone those elections. through legislative action. We're also on a parallel track working with our town council to pursue necessary court orders to postpone those elections if that's the avenue that we have to go. So stay tuned. As through the last few weeks, information is changing every day, and we're going to continue to do our best to get it out to you as quickly as possible. I'd encourage you to check our website on a daily basis where we're posting new information and stuff that comes through, and we'll continue to do that. If you're on social media, which if you're following us on Facebook Live right now, then you certainly are, but I encourage you to also check out our Twitter account for additional content we're publishing on a daily basis. Sharon, can you talk a little bit about some of the programming that you're trying to do, and also an update on the Meals on Wheels program, which I know has been continuing and will continue?
Sure. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say I know this is a really difficult time for everybody. You know, seniors tend to come to the senior center to be with other people and participate and engage, and that's a huge loss, and we realize that. So that's why John and I are here today. We figured, you know, we'd like to get familiar faces in front of you that just to help you feel more connected. So as John had mentioned, COA staff is still available. Our phone number is 978-929-6652. So anybody that has questions or needs assistance about anything, please feel free to call us. We're also reaching out and calling all of our senior center participants. So because some of our staff are working remotely, you may be seeing a blocked number, but please feel free to answer it. It's probably one of us checking in. We're also trying to set up a phone buddy system. So if you're interested in having somebody call you once a day, once a week, just to chat, let us know and we'll connect you with a volunteer. We're doing some virtual resources, so we're working with some of our instructors to bring them in, tape some chair exercise classes, some of Terry's classes. Yvonne is willing to come in and do some classes. So watch ActonTV for that. Again, I think it's important to remain engaged. If you're not tech savvy, because I know we've heard feedback, a lot of what we're doing is relying on social media and emails to get word out to people. Maybe use this time to learn. We've got some volunteers that can walk you through it. Ask a family member. You've got time now. And again, to try to help with some of the isolation, look back into your phone books. Maybe reach out to those friends that you haven't talked to in a while, or people in your classes or that you used to have lunch with and spoke with on a regular basis. Maybe you wouldn't pick up the phone to talk to them on a normal day, but these aren't normal days. So it's really important to stay connected to others. As John mentioned, we'll be doing a lot working with ActonTV, again, to try to stay connected. I heard rumors that Mark Hall's working hard to try to get a YouTube channel set up for Acton. The radio station will be another great way, so we'll get that information out as soon as we have it. Let's see. And as far as Meals on Wheels for homebound clients that are receiving services from Minuteman Senior Services, Meals on Wheels are still going out Monday through Friday. For folks that were not receiving Meals on Wheels, Minuteman has a takeout or grab and go service. So you can call and order a hot meal and either come pick it up at the senior center Monday through Friday, or if you need assistance, we can deliver it to you. To order those meals, you need to call 781-221-7085. And we also have that on our town website, ActonCOA.com. And then we've been trying to send out email blasts to folks. So again, if you're on email, you can subscribe at our website, ActonCOA.com/subscribe. The town's news flash has also been fabulous. John, you've been doing a great job getting word out to everybody. Each department updates what we'd like to get out to folks. So that goes out each day too, and you can sign up for that on the town's website.
So just an update from last night. As I mentioned, the Board of Health met last night in a totally virtual meeting, which is exciting. I think our IT staff has done a tremendous job, and ActonTV, our partners here at ActonTV, have done a great job in adapting to this change in how we're conducting business this week. So we held 3 virtual meetings this week. The most recent one was last night, where the Board of Health voted to declare the local state of emergency. They also voted to close all services to the public which cannot be provided at a distance of at least 6 feet, effective Saturday, March 21st at 8 a.m. This will remain in effect until the public health emergency has been lifted by the town of Acton. This ban includes all elective personal care, but is not limited to hairdressers, barbers, nail salons, massage services, body art, body work. The board implemented this ban to protect the health and safety of people who live and work in our community. We all need to make careful choices to protect the health of our community, practice social distancing, and maintain at least 6 feet distance from others to minimize risk. This ban does not pertain to medical or medical ordered services. So, and we'll be providing additional updates on actions that the Board of Health has taken. I believe they're meeting again next week as well to continue to discuss this issue. Do we have a caller on the line here at ActonTV? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, the question about confirmed cases? Yes. So as of today, we have, there are no confirmed cases in Acton. This is the information we've been publishing regularly on our website, that there aren't any confirmed cases. Here's another question coming through on Facebook. Is there a way that local government working with local businesses to support our economy, sharing and guiding businesses through resources such as SBA funding and the state's WorkShare program? That's a great question. Thank you, Alec, for the question. So our Land Use and Economic Development Director, Selby, has been working to develop resources on our website. The resource is actonma.gov/business. And at that location, he's going to continue to post information as it comes in from state and federal programs about resources that are available to help our businesses, both big and small. There are some programs that were announced yesterday by the governor, and I'm sure and I hope that there'll be others that continue to come down the line. So that's a great place to look for additional information about businesses and how we're helping our businesses during this difficult time. Is there another question, Sharon?
I can't read it, I'm sorry. But in the lull, I also forgot to mention both the Acton Memorial Library and the Acton Council on Aging have a great list of different virtual programs. There's museum tours and all different kind of classes and performances that people can access at home. I know a lot of focus is on the kids and schoolwork and that sort of thing, which is really important, but for adults, there's programming as well. So. Oh, thanks.
So so this has been a busy week at Town Hall. There are certain things, there are some bills that are due, there are people are still looking to get business done, permits and licenses and certificates. So all that business is going to continue to be held. We just ask for your patience as we're going to do it a little bit differently. There's people available to answer calls and do transactions through email. We're doing limited building inspections and very limited health inspections, given the concerns and the directives we've had from our public health officials about keeping safe distances where we're not able to enter homes to do inspections the way we have normally. So we're going to continue to work through that. So if you have any questions about that, please contact the building department or the health department. Or as always, if there's a question, please feel free to email my office, manager@actonma.gov, and we'd be happy to see what we can do to help you. Another thing I wanted to mention is that our school district, Acton Boxborough Regional School District, has put together a great program to help with families that may have trouble with food and finding food during this time. A lot of children rely on school lunch as a big part of their nutrition, and not having school creates some difficulties for them. So the school put together a great program of bagged lunches, and they're offering these daily during the week. You have to call to sign up. There's information at abschools.org. There's also information on our website, actonma.gov. We have, that's something that the done in partnership with the Acton Neighbor Brigade. And so if you're interested, please check that out. Also, if you're interested in helping, there's been a lot of people that have called my office and said, how can I help? And that's one way you can help, is you could help with that process. So I'd encourage you to contact the Acton Neighbor Brigade, or if you have trouble finding them, contact my office and I'll help you.
They've also expanded the lunches to anybody, so even if you don't have a school child, if there's a need for food, seniors, other adults, you're welcome also. They've opened that up to folks. John, looks like there's a question about if there's a way to do town meeting virtually.
So that's something, so this year was actually going to be a year that we were going to try some new things at town meeting, and we hope to still do that. One thing we're not going to be able to do at this point is hold town meeting virtually. Through our Mass General Law, it's not something that's provided for. So we're going to have to, unless things changes, we're going to have to wait until we can have town meeting in person. And so since we don't know when that will be, that's why, although the board has voted to postpone town meeting, we have not set a new date. And so there's legislation that's going to help direct how we are able to do that we hope to see early next week from the state. But we do have to hopefully have town meeting before the end of the fiscal year to allow us to have a budget in place for next year. So we're going to continue to monitor that situation very closely. And the same thing with the election. If we are successful in postponing the election, which I think will be, we will identify an appropriate time to hold that and then make sure everyone has information about it, and we'll continue to monitor the situation closely. We have another question. It says, what about kids playing basketball in playgrounds, even though they're supposed to be closed? So earlier this week, we announced that all playgrounds, public playgrounds, are closed. I believe the Acton Boxborough School District announced that all of their facilities are closed. So you're right, those facilities are closed and people aren't supposed to be there. If you're in an open space and if you're walking on the hiking trails or even on the rail trails, you need to make sure that you keep 6 feet away from each other. So I don't think that playing a basketball game, as much as I'd like to be playing basketball, is something that we should be doing, given that you're in very close contact while you're playing basketball. So I think parents need to talk to their kids and say, listen, this is temporary, but we need to find new ways to have fun, and it has to be ways that we can keep some space between us. So I hope you understand, and if there's any further questions on that, please let us know, but thank you. And the Board of Health did vote also to ratify that decision to close all of our playgrounds. So as much as they're an important amenity for our community, they're something that a playground equipment is a potential transfer medium for germs and things that we're really trying to prevent. So please avoid those areas as requested. I can also just read through some updates from town services that we're publishing on a daily basis, just to make sure that there's a lot to it. So we want to make sure everybody hears about it. So let me just give you an example.
And they can find this on the town's website.
Right, so on the town website, actonma.gov. So here's just some more updates. Earlier this week, the Board of Health banned all buffets, salad bars, buffets, and things like that. Those are banned temporarily during this process. The Board of Health also brought up something that I found interesting. They brought a concern about reusable bags. So we've worked very hard to, as a community, ban the use of plastic bags. But we also now need to be careful about making sure that the reusable bags that we're using for groceries are washed or sanitized after you use them. So just something to keep an eye on. Other updates we have, let's see. Board and committee meetings. I've received a lot of questions about board and committee meetings. At this point, the Board of Selectmen voted on earlier this week to postpone or cancel any board meetings that are scheduled for this week as we continue to identify ways that we'll be able to facilitate virtual and remote meetings. In the past, we weren't allowed to hold virtual meetings because of open meeting law, but the governor enacted special rules allowing us to do so during this period so the business of the town can continue. So we've been successful this week with the Board of Health and the Board of Selectmen, and I know the school committee held a meeting last night which appeared to go pretty well. So we're going to continue to try to build our capacity to allow other boards and committees to meet, because I know they have business that they want to attend to, and we urge your patience, and we appreciate your patience as we continue to work through some of the technical requirements that we need to meet to be able to provide that option for everybody. Because as you may know, we have 50 or several dozen committees that do business here, which is a great part of Acton. But to keep all of those committees up and running virtually is going to require some work that we're just starting out on, and we hope to continue to talk to the Board of Selectmen about that and make more meetings available as time goes forward. Our Community Resources Office, Laura Ducharme, works with residents throughout the community, and she has several resources that she's made available. In addition to the bag lunch program that we just mentioned for the schools, there are also community suppers that Mount Calverley works to provide. The Acton Food Pantry is still open. They are open Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. As of Tuesday, March 17th, Open Table in Maynard will be implementing drive-through pantry service on Tuesdays from 1 to 6:30 and Thursdays from 3 to 6. And if you have any needs or concerns, feel free to reach out to Laura, 978-929-6651. Sharon, what's the virtual program that you're most excited to offer next week?
I think the exercise classes, because that's something that's really important to the seniors in Acton. Fitness has always been a popular program. So at this point, we worked with ActonTV and pulled out from the archives Patsy Brightman's yoga class that was filmed probably about a year ago. But like I mentioned, we've got Terry Zaborowski, Yvonne Bonelli, and Mary Morgan that are willing to come in and film an exercise class so people can exercise from home. And then we have a Wednesday afternoon class on line dancing, and that woman, Carrie, as the instructor, is also willing to come in and film a series for beginners and intermediates, that sort of thing. So watch for that on ActonTV, and we'll be getting that out soon.
So we just wanted to try this out. We don't need to stay on all morning, but we wanted to provide virtual Java with John. I don't have Java today, but I usually would. And we brought hand sanitizer because that's very important that you should all be using that and washing your hands regularly. But if there's no more questions for us now virtually, please feel to reach out to our offices. Both Sharon, can you give your information?
Sure. Sharon Mercurio, I'm the Council on Aging Director. Our number again is 978-929-6652. I'm sorry.
Let's try that again.
978-929-6652. See what happens when there's no coffee.
Yeah, so, and my office, 978-929-6611, or email manager@actonma.gov. Check out our website. Stay tuned for hopefully some information about our FM radio station, which we're trying to launch to provide more information and an easier way for people to get access to updates. And thank you for tuning in. Let me just give one last check to make sure there aren't any pending questions, and then I think Sharon has a closing remark, and then we'll sign off. And we'll do it again soon if you tell your friends to watch, and we'll do it again soon. And we're happy to continue to provide ways to connect with you while we're all going through this together.
So I found a poem that's been going around on social media, nothing to do with the town, but I thought it spoke to me and I thought it would be nice to share. It is attributed to Kitty O'Meara, but an Italian journalist has also claimed that she's written it, so Irene Vella, I'll give both names. And it's called In the Time of Pandemic. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, as they healed, as they had been healed.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That was beautiful. Thank you for
Thanks.
reading that.
Sure.
And if anyone else wants to read a poem and send it to us, we'd be happy to post it. So until next time, have a cup of coffee for me, and be safe out there. Wash your hands, keep your distance, and check in on your neighbors with your phone or with technology. And let's get through this together. Thank you.
Thanks.